What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the very first time. And today we're going to be returning to a game called Star Ocean. This is Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Otherwise, I believe known as Star Ocean 3. I don't know. I thought there were different games, but I guess Till the End of Time is 3. But correct me if I'm wrong with that. And we're going to be hearing two songs, Lakes and Marshes with Doubt. It's an interesting name. From the channel Matoi Sakuraba. And Cutting Edge of Notion from the channel Charlotte Freiheit. One thing before I get started, of course, this is Matoi Sakuraba, who's a composer I've started to really enjoy, but more importantly than that is something I discovered recently, and the guitarist for this is Jun Kajiwara, who's one of the reasons I even wanted to learn the guitar, who's the guitarist in King of Fighters and Bloody Roar 2, which is my favorite soundtrack of all time. So it's really cool. It was already cool to wait for Star Ocean stuff, but now it's enhanced knowing that if I hear a guitar, I'm immediately going to be like, there he is. So these are both requested by Pepita. Let's just get going. Lakes and Marshes with Doubt. Interesting name. Let's go. With doubt. Immediately getting those aquatic thing. I just made a whole video on aquatic vibes in games, so it's like it's putting me right there. It's called Lakes and Marshes. I have a very specific image in mind, but that's because I'm recently influenced. I'll explain later. I don't know if it counts. Kind of a little bit of a jazzy sound on the keyboard. Ooh. Very dreamlike. It's a deep breaths kind of song. I think this might be the most calm song I've heard from this composer. Usually it's a bunch of like organs and like prog. Oh, interesting. Very short. Okay. Sometimes, depending, it always depends on my mood. You know, if a song is short, I'll like check it out again, but I don't think I need to here. It's kind of, well, it's straightforward, but in a very mysterious fashion. You know, now that I think about it, to me, I read the title and it makes no sense at all. But hearing it, it kind of really hits the mark. For example, lakes and marshes, right? Water immediately in your head. And then the doubt obviously has a sense of confusion and mystery. And that's exactly what that song sounded like. The song sounded like an aquatic mystery. So it's actually kind of fitting now that I think about it. But the thing that came to mind immediately, and this is because I'm currently playing the game, so it's natural, but it is similar, is the Satoru Marsh from Xenoblade Chronicles. In that game, without saying much, it's not a spoiler, but every place has like a day and night cycle, and they have a song reflecting it. And there's a marsh in that game, which is, you know, very swamp-like and kind of mysterious and all that. But The nighttime version is sort of like this kind of dreamlike, almost lullaby, creepy, very ambient and open sound, and it reminded me of that. Plus, Marshes in the title. So, to me, this sounded like less of a song and more of a like a phase, like you're passing through a quick tunnel, or I mean, it could be like a little town theme underwater or something like that. But I see it more as like a transitional piece of music going from one place in between two places. Something that you don't hear for very long. Maybe you only hear it once in the game. That's kind of what I got from it, which is nothing like the Xenoblade one I was talking about. But for this song, it just sounded like it's meant to just kind of suit the mood of the area. Right, it wasn't your song structure of like an intro into this and that. It was just a floating piece of notes and ambient chords just kind of floating along the song. And that's really all it was. And it's kind of funny because without plugging it, I recently made like a video on talking about aquatic themes in video games. And this would have fit in there too. You know, it's like, though I'm not sure if it's aquatic, it definitely feels like it. But this is the vibe of that, of these, like if I did not know the title of this, I would have said without a doubt that this sounded like it's underwater, submerged, all that kind of stuff. It just has that feeling of, you know, the depths of the ocean or something. So that's pretty much it. Really curious about that title though. But let's just move on to the next one. That was really cool. And the slowest / most tranquil song I've heard from Star Ocean. So that's kind of another reason. I'm just assuming, but that's kind of another reason I don't think it's like a song. It's just more of like a little place or something. Because all the songs in this game that I've heard so far have been, you know, like prog structured and lots of energy. So, but maybe, who knows? About to find out in this next one. We're gonna be here a lot of Star Ocean today because this video is 2 videos, and the video I'm doing after is another 2 videos from Star Ocean. So, a lot of Star Ocean. This one is Cutting Edge of Notion. Just the title alone sounds a little more, you know, a little more intense. But this one's a lot longer, 6 minutes. Let's get into it. Cutting Edge of Notion. I feel like these titles are like metaphors. Let's go. This is uploaded 10 years ago. It sounds like it. That's the sound I know, right? It's like organ and... Oh, it's Square Enix? I had no idea Star Ocean was Square Enix. Dude, Square Enix and their music department. Seriously. Not gonna lie, the quality on this video is kind of rough, but it's 10 years old, so. In the far distant land of 2014. It's okay, I can still hear the song though. That's the Matoi that I associate with that sound. I have a feeling Matoi Sakuraba grew up in a house full of Deep Purple and Electric Light Orchestra. There's Jun Kajiwara on the guitar. Though you can barely hear him though. It's hard to hear the bass, but I really like the bass. It's picking up where the drums are. It's picking up, like the bass here is doing. Let me rephrase that. The bass here is filling in the spots that the drums is leaving open. Yeah, right. Look at the traces. The drums are just like, da, da, and the bass going. Not a bad thing. It's just a cool approach to the bass. Battle theme, perhaps. The title sounds like a battle theme. The song sounds like a battle theme. I don't know what kind of game this is. I don't know if it's like a turn-based RPG. Let's find out. Never looked up Star Ocean. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Let's see what it looks like. It's Square Enix, so... You know what this recording sounds like? It sounds like a garage band type of... It's an action RPG. It's the third game. Tri-Ace and published by Square Enix. PS2. 2003. This was the penultimate release before its merger to become Square Enix. Interesting. Wow. This is a 20-year-old game. I can't believe that PS2 was 20 years old. I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing that makes you feel older than... Oh, the game looks cool. Looks very PS2. Yeah, it just looks like you're... you know, PS2 era RPG. I think it's just a battle theme. It sounds like a battle theme. I can't really imagine this in like a shop or anything. It's only about a minute left. Let's just keep it going. Sounds like a generic battle theme. But it could be a boss too. I don't know. It's hard to tell with RPGs sometimes. Especially with Square. They go so hard on like everything. That like even the smallest thing can just be like, you know, things that shouldn't have really crazy music has crazy music sometimes. Yeah, you can hear all that like 70s classic rock in there, that Boston, that Kansas, all that, it's in there. Who else? We got a like Iron Butterfly, ELO, Deep Purple. Let's see if the requester left any notes on this one. Cutting Edge. Alert banger detected is what they wrote. I've always liked that name though, Star Ocean, which also sounds like a metaphor. You know, I gotta be honest with this one, and it's not anything bad whatsoever. Man, that quality was like tough back then. That didn't take away from my experience at all, by the way. Nothing what I'm about to say is bad whatsoever. It's just now that here's what's interesting. I now have some quote unquote air quote experience with RPGs. It's really weird for me to say because I still feel very new and foreign to these games, because even though I've been playing them now for about 2 years, I know that's not a lot, but that's 2 years of my life that I've been playing mostly RPG style games. But I went my entire life before that not playing RPG games. That's what I mean by new, meaning that people that are watching these grew up with them and know them very well for decades. So even though it's 2 years for me is a long time, it's like baby numbers. But now that I've played a few from different genres, different composers, there's a bit of experience now, right? So I can kind of be like, well, this sounds like a X, this sounds like a Y, this sounds like Z. And although it's never predictable with RPGs, I think with this one, it's pretty much narrows down to two things only: generic battle theme or boss. I don't get anything else from that. Now, if I saw this video 2 years ago, I probably would have said that too, but I don't know, it would have been a little more vague. Like, oh, that just sounds really prog and nothing else. But it's like now I'm trying to envision like a party and they're healing each other and they're talking during, and you know, the enemies taking turns, you know, it's like I'm experiencing the whole thing kind of in my mind. And to me, it's hard to say. For me, it's just more like a 50-50 if this is generic or boss. I guess by the intensity of it, I would say it's a boss. It feels like it's a little more. This is funny to me saying this right now, what I'm about to say, but it feels like it's a little more intense than your generic battle theme. But at the same time, like I said earlier, was me playing Xenoblade. A generic battle theme in that game is like mechanical rhythm, which is insane. You know, it sounds like a boss theme. So either way, the overall feeling I got from this was just like, this is something that definitely in the moment drives you, right? Like I can, now that I have experience, I can totally imagine hearing that and just being like, oh dude, what is this? You know, as I'm shuffling through menus and cycling through characters and items and arts and mana and all this crap. So this I would love to hear with the actual like sound effects of the game. And I'm sure a better recording of this exists. This is very old, like it sounds super compressed, but it's not a big deal. But this is the sound that I associate, not just Star Ocean, but you know, Matoi as a composer is this like prog, really heavy on the organ. And so hearing the whiplash of the previous song, Lakes and Marshes, that sounded like two entirely different games, which is cool because it shows the wide palette they own. Yeah, it's really cool. I have to prepare myself for the next two songs that I get to hear from this exact same game. But it's just really cool. At the end of the day, hearing stuff that normally I would have no idea what any of it entails, and now I have. Well, I mean, it's interesting because I didn't know who Motoi Sakuraba was before. Now I do. I didn't know Jun Kajiwara was in this. Now I do. I've never played RPGs before this. Now I do. So it's like, it's just something I can expect to be very great, having some prior knowledge, and that's really weird. But it doesn't take away from my experience. It's just a new, like, I don't want to say a new chapter. That sounds lame, but it's a little different from when I first started. Because now I've heard, I went from hearing like nothing to now over 1,200 songs, and a lot of those are RPGs. So I'm starting to develop a little bit of the RPG brain, whatever that means, and hear it in the music. Anywho, we now go listen to the other ones, not in this video, but you can check that out. So that was Cutting Edge of Notion I'm guessing, let's just say boss theme. And Lakes and Marshes without. I really want to know what that was. And yeah, we continue on the Star Ocean journey. Thank you, Pepita, for that. Very cool. I always love the organ. It's a very underrated, underused instrument in music in general, not just VGM, especially in VGM. So, I'll see you in that next video. Thanks to everyone that you see here that cannot be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. Peace.